Welcome to PWS United, a podcast for the Prader-Willi syndrome community, brought to you by PWSA USA. This podcast gives the latest news in research, advocacy, and family support by bringing together staff, volunteers, PWS treatment specialists, biotech and pharmaceutical representatives, caregivers, family members, and individuals with PWS. Our goal is to share education, awareness, and resources with those living with PWS and their supporters. Join us in our mission to enhance the quality of life and empower those affected by Prader-Willi syndrome.
All right, well, we're back with another episode of PWS United, the PWSA USA podcast for the PWS community. I'm here with Carrie as usual. And Carrie, you want to tell us how you're doing? Did you have a good weekend?
Yes. Hi, everybody. So I feel like we haven't done a little intro in a while because we've had so much great things to get through.
Uh-huh.
So it's nice to, take a minute to start here
Land.
and check in. Yeah. But I've been doing great. I've been in full conference mode and it's consuming my thoughts and
Your
it's
dreams.
basically what in my dreams. Yep, I wake up and I'm like, "Oh no, I need to do that." So it's helpful to dream about it because it reminds me I need to do something specific. My subconscious tells me further things that have to get done. So it's good. But also I'm excited for maybe after June when it's not things I dream about and I can dream about my normal scheduled dreams. Yes.
Yeah, you deserve
But
that.
yeah. But ultimately so excited. I'm so excited just to go to Phoenix, and get a different, atmosphere,
Yeah.
be in a different place for a little bit and be among tons of people. I mean, we work from home, so it's me and my dog, and then I see my husband later in the day, and that's my days. So I can't wait to be around hundreds and hundreds of people. It's gonna be a nice change of pace. But I didn't answer your question. My weekend
That's
was
okay.
great.
You kind of did. I mean, you had a great weekend consumed with thoughts of conference.
Yes, that ultimately led to finishing projects, which is great. What
Good.
about you, Annie? I know you had a fun week and weekend with
Yeah,
Freya. What'd you guys do?
I abandoned Carrie last week to go on Freya's class field trip to Ashland, Oregon to the Shakespeare Festival, which I recommend to anybody. Ashland is an adorable town and the plays are just incredible.
Mm,
The experience, the quality of work at that theater, or
mhm,
I don't know if it's a theater company or the theater festival, because there's multiple theaters, and one of them is an outdoor Elizabethan theater, which is
mm.
really cool. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so that was a great time, and I really enjoyed it, and, yeah, now I'm back and just trying to wrap my head around
Get
where
back in conference mode.
get back in conference mode. But,
Welcome.
yeah, I'm also looking forward to Phoenix and seeing everybody, and it's gonna be a great time. But before we do that, we have our volume 124 pulse from Friday, June 6th. And we began it with a blurb about National Scoliosis Awareness Month. So, as we enter into June with conference on our minds, we are also reminded of a common diagnosis with our loved ones with PWS, which is scoliosis. June is Scoliosis Awareness Month, a time to remind our community of the prevalence of scoliosis, the necessity of early testing and intervention and treatment options. With diagnoses ranging from mild scoliosis to curves requiring surgical care, understanding the risk of scoliosis for our loved ones and how to support them in prevention and treatment is very important. So, to help you better understand potential risk factors, signs of scoliosis, and what the next steps would be, we have a scoliosis resource, which we will link to in the show notes. For our PWSA memory, this pulse, this is from the Gathered View, Volume 16, Number 1, January, February 1990. So at the American Society of Human Genetics meeting in November of 1989, quote, one laboratory presented 4 cases of PWS that did not have the number 15 chromosome deletion, but had typical symptoms of the chromosome. When examining the area where the deletions occurred in other patients, these geneticists found that instead of having one maternal and one paternal chromosome in that region, the patients had two maternal chromosomes. It is being called maternal heterodysomy as both chromosomes are from the mother. End quote. And that was from the gathered view that I mentioned. When PWS was first discovered genetically in 1981, it was seen as being caused solely by a deletion on the 15th chromosome. At the American Society of Human Genetics meeting in late 1989, the geneticists and PWS community were officially introduced to other causes of PWS, leading to what we now know are three subtypes: deletion, maternal uniparental disomy, or UPD, and imprinting mutation. At the time of this article in the Gathered View, testing for PWS was minimal, and doctors did not agree whether or not prenatal testing would verify the presence of PWS. We have come a long way from those early days of understanding the genetics of PWS and are incredibly grateful to all of the doctors, researchers, specialists, and advocates who have helped pave the way for a deeper understanding of this syndrome. And you can find a link to that Gathered View in the show notes. And I will say that I had to clarify with Lynn numerous times the wording on this, just to be clear, because I am not a geneticist. And even though this sounds maybe simple to many people, trying to make sure that I got the correct information out about the subtypes.
Good job, Annie.
Yeah.
I would have done
Well,
the same.
yeah. Good job, Lynn, for
Go,
correcting.
Lynn.
And then our spotlight on hope includes some adorable photos of this little baby. And her name is Ada. Ada was diagnosed with Prader-Willi syndrome at 1 month old and today is thriving and shining. Like most parents in this community, receiving the diagnosis turned their world upside down. The first year was challenging, but her mom proudly reports that Ada, quote, continues to show us every day how strong and resilient she is. Now, this Spotlight on Hope was long enough to be put into a blog, so there will be a link to that, and you can see the photos of this adorable 1-year-old, and you can also find a link to share your own Spotlight on Hope.
All right. So, time for some conference talk. Again, I think we'll
Again.
just continue to bring it back up. Yeah, that's where we're at. So, conference is a little over 2 weeks away now, just about it's actually 2 weeks away,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is amazing. Wow. It's continuously moving faster and faster, and I think the excitement just is building and building, and it's just all excitement at this point. So,
And just to clarify real quick for the families who are at home going, "Oh my god, it's 2 weeks away." That is the clinical and scientific conference. The family conference is 2 weeks from Friday. So
yes,
depending on whenever you're listening to this, but it's, for
thank you
us,
for
conference
clarifying.
starts sooner than it does for families.
That's absolutely right. So, yeah, Friday and Saturday, June 27 and 28 is family. So, a little over 2 weeks away for our families out there, but still coming up quick. So, we do have a couple announcements that we wanted to make sure people know about as we do get a lot closer to the date of conference starting. So, we're excited to share that the detailed program agendas, the conference mobile app, and the conference attendee welcome packet are all live and available for viewing and download. We will have all of these links in our show notes, by the way. And as a reminder, the family program and the PWS and sibling camps are at full capacity, so we're no longer accepting registrations for those portions of the conference. However, registration does remain open for the clinical scientific and professional providers programs, and spots are still open, but registration will close for all conference programs on June 17th. So just to put that out there. So, to give a little overview of our wonderful conference mobile app, it is for conference attendees, and everyone is encouraged to use this app throughout the event to stay up to date on the latest news and announcements, to manage your own personal schedules, add sessions to your agenda, and to create an event profile. So, again, we'll have the mobile app login link in the show notes, and we'll also have a flyer that gives an overview of how to log in and some of the additional features of the app to get to know a little bit better. And then we also, as I mentioned, have a great and detailed attendee welcome packet for the conference. So the packet contains important information about conference week, including details about the schedule. Again, how to download and utilize that conference mobile app. It's all in there as well. How to get to the conference center and more. It also shares important details about your stay on and off the Arizona Grand Resort and Spa property, including dining options, and then what to pack, getting around the resort, and how to make the most of your time at the Arizona Grand Resort and Spa. In addition, it includes some helpful reminders and answers to some of the most frequently asked questions that we have been receiving. So if you're attending conference, please take some time to read through this packet before you arrive. I promise it will help you avoid any last-minute surprises and will allow you to fully focus on what really matters, which is connecting with the PWS community and experiencing everything that this week has to offer. So again, find that link in our show notes. And then finally, the detailed conference agendas are ready to go, Annie. It's something that we've been it's so
Yay.
excited to put out because it has all of the details about our sessions. It has the titles, the times, the locations, and the speakers, which is the big thing that we've been waiting to officially finalize. And now we have, and you can see all the great people who will be joining us and leading some incredible sessions. So we'll have the links for all of these agendas. There's 4 of them: the family program agenda, clinical and scientific, professional providers, and then the adults with PWS program as well, all in the show notes. So check them out. Now moving on to another event we are really looking forward to, and this one is specifically for our New England families, but anybody can attend this if you can get yourself out to Massachusetts. So join the Lenz family for a day of golf, good spirits, and great friends as you golf and dine at Heritage Hills Golf Club in Lakeville, Massachusetts. The Hunter Lenz Golf Tournament, that's what this event is celebrating its 16th year for
Wow.
raising critical funds for PWSA. I know that is a huge accomplishment for the Lenz family, and we're just so appreciative that they continue to host this event. And I know that they look forward to it every year because they get all their friends together, and some of our staff gets to go out and have fun alongside. So always every year an amazing event. And just to give a little quote off of the registration website, they say Hunter Lenz is 27 years old and has Prader-Willi syndrome. He leads a happy, active life despite his daily challenges. He has friends, a loving family, and his weight is under control. Supporting PWSA USA, a nonprofit, will open more doors for Hunter and others who live with PWS, which ultimately means a better life. Hunter deserves a better life. So again, please join the Lenz family on this special day in honor of Hunter to benefit PWSA USA's mission. And for more details and to purchase tickets, we will have a link in the show notes. We also have another United We brunch to celebrate. This one is hummus and tahini in Nebraska. Sarah Kasabi, mom to Khaled living with PWS, and our very own information and referral specialist hosted a successful United We brunch for PWS Awareness Month in Nebraska. She said, "This weekend's United We brunch was more than I could have imagined, full of warmth, support, connection, and purpose. As we gathered around delicious and healthy homemade dishes, yes, the hummus and tahini were a hit. We shared stories, laughter, and tears. I opened up about our family's journey, how we found out about the diagnosis, what it meant, and how it's shaped our lives ever since. Thank you to everyone who came out, who asked questions, donated, shared, and simply showed up with open hearts." And you can read Sarah's full recap and see photos from this amazing event at the link in our show notes.
We're going to start our advocacy section with a call to action. Share your story to help expand Medicaid. We are calling all PWS families because we need your voice to help make a difference. Currently, only 14 states recognize PWS as an intellectual developmental disability, which limits access to crucial services and supports for individuals with PWS. Your personal story could help change that. We invite you to take part in an important advocacy effort by sharing your experience with qualifying for Medicaid waiver programs and other state-funded IDD services. By filling out the form at the link in our show notes, you'll contribute to our collective efforts to improve access to critical services for individuals with PWS across the country. Your story has the power to make an impact. Together, we can push for change for the PWS community in your state and beyond. And I just want to say that this is really affecting my life at the moment, and that I am trying to get Freya services again because she was found ineligible at 3 because they said she does not have a developmental disability. So I just want to say this to all parents out there. If your state, whatever that service may be, if your young one with PWS is doing fantastic and they're telling you they no longer need services, this is my new mission in life, is to make sure parents know that's great that your loved one is doing so wonderfully, but don't let them take those services away because they are very hard to get back. And I feel, uh, I mean, I could I could have a whole therapy session about this, but I feel like I was taken advantage of. That, of course, I didn't know any better, and I assumed they had Freya's best interests in mind. No. So now trying to get her services, when now I know so much more 10 years later, I'm like, yeah, she's doing great, but she's going to always need services. She's always going to need access to these services or to other services. And now it is a fight to get them back. So just a little PSA to parents out there, especially of young ones, don't let them take those services away. Your child needs and deserves those services, no matter how great they're doing. And don't forget to share your story, as I
Yeah, I
will
was
be
going to
doing.
say, thank you for setting that stage, Annie, because I know there's many other families experiencing this, and that's why we're trying to do this big push for,
Mhm. Mhm.
these stories and more of this action in states across the country because, yes, it's affecting so many people, and it almost doesn't seem it's affecting many states. It's not just
Mhm.
a few, it's many. So, yeah, take what Annie said, feel that inspiration,
That
go and fill
anger.
out this form. Please. Please, please, please.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Annie. I'm so sorry that that's
Yeah,
happening.
that's
Oh,
alright. I got some organizations backing me up.
yep.
We're gonna take
Yep.
it where it needs to go.
We are. Yep. We got staff fired up.
Regional center, I'm coming for you.
Let this be a warning.
Oh, man. Okay, so then we just wanted to say a big thank you for helping to spread PWS awareness. So as the awareness month fades in the rearview mirror and we turn our high beams onto conference, we'd like to extend a robust thank you to our community for all of your actions to spread PWS awareness. From navigating legislation to creating state proclamations to hosting United We Bunch fundraisers. To those who shared our daily fact graphics with your online community, all of your efforts help advance awareness of PWS in our communities, schools, medical offices, and government buildings. Be proud of your actions and know that you have helped better the lives of families and individuals living with PWS. So, once again, thank you.
All right, now on to our family support section. We start once again with a wonderful spotlight on one of our adults with PWS advisory board members. This week was about Abbott Filson, who is 41 years old and lives with PWS. He resides in Maine and has been an advisory board member for PWSA for 25 years. Amazing. So, in an effort to learn more about our adults with PWS and to shine a light on their lives and experiences, we asked our adults with PWS advisory board members some questions. And here's one of Abbott's heartfelt responses to one of these questions. He said, PWS, brings a better understanding of other people's difficulties. Simple, but so powerful. I love that message that he gave. And you can read all of Abbott's answers at the link in our show notes. And I think we have one more of these to share, Annie, that we'll put
Mm-hmm.
out in the next pulse. But
They've
this
been
has been
so good.
such a great spotlight series. I really hope people have taken away some positive feelings and a better understanding of our adults with PWS. I think this advisory board is full of incredible people. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad we were able to to give them recognition where it's due.
Yes. Yes. I have found it as a parent, I have found it very inspiring and
Good.
enlightening on the possibilities of Freya's future.
Our next session is another call to action, but this one for family support resources. So, PWSA USA is partnering with the Behavioral Innovations for Rare Diagnosis, or the BIRD Lab, I love that, at the Chicago School to develop a new family resource program, and we want to hear from all of you. So, through upcoming focus groups, PWS caregivers will have the chance to share real life insights about the challenges, needs, and supports that matter most. Your input will directly guide the creation of a resource designed to support families like yours at every stage of life. And topics will include key knowledge and information needs, daily caregiving challenges and successes, emotional, behavioral, and medical support priorities, navigating education, healthcare, and social systems, and preferred formats for receiving support. So, your experience matters so much and will really help craft this. So, again, please get involved. And for more information on joining the focus groups, you can visit the links in our show notes. We do have one that's specific for parents and caregivers, and then another for siblings of individuals with PWS. There is a new bilingual sibling support opportunity that we want to let everybody know about. So, do you have a child with PWS and then a typically developing child who's ages 3 to 6? If so, check out the new SibTime app from the Sibling Support Project. The SibTime app features stories and activities for typically developing preschool siblings and their caregivers. SibTime includes videos, animated stories, podcasts, and mindful exercises to promote bonding, understanding, and fun. This project is seeking 160 English and Spanish speaking families to help test the app. Families who participate in this research study receive $200 for trying out the app and for completing 2 surveys. So you can learn more at the link in our show notes. Now, moving on to our Ask Nurse Lynn of the week. This question was submitted on behalf of a female who is 42 years old with a UPD subtype. My question is about treatment for osteoporosis. My sister, to my knowledge, has never had any hormone replacement. She is obese with a BMI of 38, and the only abnormal lab done by her gynecologist was testosterone, which was below the technical range. Her vitamin D levels are normal, and she takes supplements. She does not appear to take calcium supplements. Her PCP says her calcium and vitamin D levels are in normal range. Her DEXA scan shows that she's progressed from osteopenia to osteoporosis. She currently does not have an endocrinologist, as none will accept her referrals. Her PCP wants to go straight to a yearly infusion of zoledronic acid. I'm concerned about side effects, safety in PWS, alternatives like hormones or supplements. Can you help with any guidance? And of course, Nurse Lynn gave a great response to this, and you can find it in our show notes. And we also encourage you to ask a non emergency medical question that you have about PWS while you're there.
So, in research, we have a webinar recording that's now available to learn more about Aardvark's HERO PWS study. On Tuesday, May 20th, many of you joined us for an informational and important webinar featuring Dr. Lee, CEO of Aardvark Therapeutics, and Dr. Jamin, Chief Medical Officer, to learn more about the HERO clinical trial for ARD 101, a potential treatment for hyperphagia in individuals with PWS. In this session, attendees learned about the HERO Phase 3 clinical trial of ARD 101, heard where trial sites are located and which are actively enrolling participants, and had the opportunity to ask questions directly to the Aardvark team. With the support of our community, this groundbreaking treatment is one step closer to FDA approval, bringing hope and new options to those who need it most. So if you would like to learn more about the HERO study, you can visit www.hero4pws.com or click the link in our show notes. If you'd like to see where the open enrolling sites are, you can check out a link for that in our show notes. We still have our clinical scholarships available, and our call for letters of intent for research grants. And you can find a link to learn more about those in our show notes.
And then finally, we have a resource spotlight to share. It's a really good one, and I encourage everyone to take some time and watch it if you have not done so already. But 2 years ago, at the 2023 United in Hope PWSA convention, individuals with PWS shared their experiences of living with this diagnosis in Prader-Willi syndrome's first externally led patient-focused drug development meeting, or as we lovingly referred to it as the ELPFDD. So these stories were compiled into the Voice of the Patient report, which has helped create a comprehensive picture of what living with PWS looks like and the sincere need for treatment options. So we will have a link to watch the testimonials from the 2023 ELPFDD meeting, and we will also have a link to read the Voice of the Patient report. So if you have time to do both, I highly suggest it, especially heading into the 2025 conference. It's kind of puts you in a great mindset of just why we do this, why we come together, and really shines a light on everybody's unique stories. So kudos to everybody who got involved in 2023. It was a great
Mhm.
event.
I unfortunately missed it because I had thought it was smart to take an all-nighter, a red eye from California with my girls, and my mother-in-law picked us up at the airport. I didn't sleep a wink, and
Oh,
then she dropped me off at the conference site and then took my girls for a few days, and I didn't have a room yet, and so I had
no.
my bags, and anyway, finally, I got my room, and I think it was around this time, but I had to go nap. So
Yes,
anyway,
fair.
not that anybody cares, but, I missed it.
Well, good news, Annie, you can watch the recording. That's why we do these things.
Yep. Carrie, before we go, I would love to say one thing, and that is I am very excited to bring the podcast to the conference.
Yes.
So, for those of you who will not be able to attend conference, we know everybody would probably love to come. We would love to have everybody. It would be fantastic if we could do that. There are many reasons we can't. There are many reasons people can't make it. So, one of the things that we're doing is we are recording two of the sessions for the podcast. So we'll put that out as a podcast episode after the conference at some point. So we're going to record nutrition recommendations for children and families, and that's with Michael Tan. And we are also recording endocrine issues in teens and adults with Diane Stafford. So both of those will be recorded and put out as a podcast episode at some point. But what's really exciting is that we are going to be doing a live stream. Carrie, you want to tell us about the live stream that we're going to be doing?
Yes. I think this is a great one because it really affects so many people in our community. And it's a great reminder, especially in the summer months, as kiddos are home. So
Yeah.
good refreshers. But it's going to be teaching emotional regulation in individuals with Prader-Willi syndrome, ABA strategies for lasting success. And that is with Dr. Casey Bedard. And she is so knowledgeable and has helped so many families and continues to do amazing research with our community. So we thought this would be a great one to have
Yeah.
families hear from her.
Yeah. And so if you guys are wondering how to do the live stream, okay, you got to do it through Podbean. This is what we've learned. It's been a learning curve for Carrie and I as well to try and figure
Mhm.
out how to put this together. But so if you're listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever, that's great. Keep listening and stay here for all of the other episodes. But for the live stream in particular, you will have to be using Podbean. And so the benefit of listening to the live stream is you get to kind of be there in
Yeah.
the moment with everybody, but there's also a comment section. So there's like a
Mhm.
chat that's going on. So we just thought it would be like a fun way to participate. So you have to go ahead and download the Podbean app or get on your desktop and get a Podbean account. It's free. You won't have to pay for it, but that will just make it that much easier. We are going to link to an article, how to join a PWS United live stream. There will be a link to that article and it has pictures and it'll explain everything you need to do to get into the live stream on Saturday, June 28th. The time zones are confusing us a bit right now. Check the blog that will have correct information. Also check our social media because we'll put out a little call or a little like reminder before it, like, hey, we're going live in an hour or whatever. We'll try and give you guys some updates and we'll have that link. But if you are in the Podbean app or if you have an account, you'll see it. It'll be really easy. So anyway, we'll figure that out. We'll figure out the time zones.
I'm pretty convinced it's 3
Okay.
hours behind me. So 3 hours behind Eastern time. So just be on the lookout. And for those coming to conference in a couple of weeks, we cannot wait to see you. And if you find Annie or I, we're going to be wearing PWS United stickers on our shirts, our podcast stickers.
Yes.
So come find us and please record with us and have your voice be on the podcast. We would love that.
And
We're
we will
gonna
give
have
you
our
a free
microphones.
sticker.
And a free sticker. All good things. You really want to find us, essentially. That's the goal. One of the goals.
We'll have fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode of PWS United. If you want to learn more about Prader-Willi syndrome and how PWSA USA is making strides in advocacy, family support, and research, visit www.pwsausa.org. And while you're there, we encourage you to sign up for our Pulse email newsletter to stay informed about the latest news, resources, and events. Don't forget to subscribe to the PWS United podcast so you never miss an episode. Our team is always available to support families and their loved ones living with PWS 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You can call us at 941-312-0400 or email info@pwsausa.org. Catch a new episode next Tuesday, and until then, have a great week.